What is the true mission? What is the true purpose of this? What are the core elements of me that drove me to kind of do this? To feel needed, like to feel like you could, you know, serve someone and help someone along, to take on like a leadership role.
I think those are all good values. You know, to be in service to someone else and to try to fill a leadership role. Like, that's, to me, that seems like a sign of growth within yourself, you know? So,
oh, that shit was crazy.
You know, because I think it was intimidating to a certain extent to come to somewhere where I didn't know anything at all, and then to just like let someone like lead me, because I'm like, damn, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm gonna trust into someone, you know. So I can't imagine it being in reverse, where like I know what I'm doing, but I've never led someone on what I'm doing. So let's just see how this fucking thing goes out. So to me, it's like it was like a perfect clash.
So what's up, guys? I'm David here. So the last time I ran Treehouse Productions, if you remember, there was a video of me sitting in a chair talking with me. But now that we've had one full semester, I now have students, and this is my homie August right here, one of the very first people that signed up for the class. And I really just wanted to have a discussion with him, talking about what he gained from the class, where the class could improve, where he got value from, and just kind of it's kind of like a rate my professor, like a mini version of that. We'll just start off by like, what made you join the class, or what made you kind of be like, dang, I'm gonna let this crazy guy teach me how to do stuff?
I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think we all wanted to further our own personal endeavors. And I feel like being an artist, being in front of the camera is a lot different from being behind the camera. And I feel like this was a good way to introduce myself to DIY, do it yourself. I feel like that was a big foundation of doing it. Is I wanted to start doing a lot of my, I really wanted to craft my own narrative instead of kind of having someone do it for me. I feel like that was definitely the main driver. I don't know, being on the other side of the camera, you know, because I think as a performer, you're so used to being in front of it. But at the same time, that allows someone to kind of paint an angle of you, you know? And I think for the longest time, I was okay with that. But as I'm getting older and I'm having more confidence in myself, I'm appreciating what it means to kind of control that perspective and kind of lead it into a different way. So that, I think it can get to a point of collaboration, and I feel like that's what I've done with you here. But I do think as an artist, you can let it get out of hand, and if you don't have the courage, the confidence to step up, someone can paint you a certain way, you know, and it could be good intention or ill. I think most of the time it is good intention, but
stand on business.
Yeah, exactly. But then you end up getting cringy content, corny content, you know, and then like you're like, damn, I paid for it, but I'm not gonna say anything, and it's like, and then you just start building your foundation on like on shit that's not you, and that's what I didn't want to do, and I feel like being here was a way to, again, to create that base myself, and too, if I ever want to go and collaborate with other people, I think you've given me that. You've gave me that introduction of how to do that with other people, and I feel like, again, I feel like now I feel comfortable being in front of the camera, being behind it, and letting someone, you know, be the cameraman. You know, use that, like someone else be the director, and it being more of a collaborative effort. I feel like that's one of the biggest things I think I took away from this class was if I do let someone else, you know, collaborate with somebody, I think I can actually see it as a collaborative effort instead of it just being so transactional. Like, here's my money, I want a photo shoot, I want a music video, you know, because I feel like that's how it is a lot of the time. At the end of the day, using you as an example, I like to think that you treat photography and videography as an art form. I feel like that's another big takeaway I've gotten from you, is like, it's one thing to point and shoot, but it's another thing to get emotion out of a still picture, you know? And so I feel like it's helped me appreciate people who do, like, I feel like I've never really seen it as an art form. I just saw it as like not a hobby, like a career, like, oh, that guy he does videos, but now that, again, working in it, I'm like, man, this is like, it's art in its own sense, you know? And music and motion is another form of art, and I feel like I don't know, that's what I'm aiming towards now, is like again, collaboration. I feel like that's a big thing that I got out of this community. All these C words: collaboration, community, consistency, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So one of the main things that me and August collaborated on was some music videos. What August did was he extracted as much value as he could out of the course. In the commercial I said, oh, we're gonna learn photography, but also if you have a creative goal, I'm gonna do my best to kind of help you hit that creative goal. And although August was interested in learning photography, his main goal was actually producing, shooting, creating, storyboarding, planning out, and producing his own music videos. So if you could kind of talk a little bit about that experience and even talk about how you approached it, because you really weren't like, you weren't pushy about it at all. You were always very like, it was just very appropriate. I don't know how else to put it, but it was
I know what you mean.
like the way you presented it. I was like, man, I could learn from that. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of it goes down to respect, because I respect your time. You're very busy. I think we're all busy. But so the fact that you gave us, because a lot of the times this felt like a really productive playground. Like I felt like we came here to work, but at the same time, it never felt like work. So when you had, you talk about like creative goals, the environment felt light enough to where I felt like I was just pitching an idea, like, hey, I still want to do the photography, but what do you think about this music video idea? I feel like a lot of that goes with how you teach. It was so light. It didn't feel. I don't want to say inappropriate, but like it just felt like in the realm of what you were offering. I feel like that's what made it so easy to pitch the idea, I guess. So I don't know. Again, I think a lot of it had to do with, I was like, he knows what the hell he's doing. He's giving us the time and space. You never missed a day. You never missed a day. So I think I just was like, okay, he's about his business, literally. Like I feel like I'm getting my money's worth in terms of what was being offered to the photography. I'm like, I feel like he'd be open to the idea. So I think that's what pushed me to go into that second. That's the whole videography aspect. But yeah, I honestly would say the environment allowed me the invitation for the music videos, So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So one of the things, like August, he literally, have you ever done a music video? Like you've bought music videos before?
I've been on, again, I've just performed them, but I think this is the first time where I feel like you allowed me to get behind the lens, because you shot everything, but you're like, what do you think? How do you think this looks?
Yeah.
Hey, I got this idea. What do you think? And I would pitch you my ideas, and I feel like, again, collaboration. And then now you're like, okay, now here's all the footage, like paste it together. And I feel like that was like a really big, again, intimidating, because not only did I have to learn Adobe software, but like I'm like, damn.
You worked on it. I would say you worked for it.
Yeah,
bro.
I really did.
I kind of feel like I went like this a little bit, but you really took off and ran with it.
And I feel like, to me, I feel like it's really paid off, because now I feel comfortable with the program, and I feel like I have a lot more incentive to work on it, because it's my music. Like I get to take the time to craft. Again, I get to take the time to craft my own narrative and how I want to be perceived. So I feel like it gives it a little bit different type of push, because again, if I just gave it to someone else, it's on their time, it's on their schedule, they can rush it, they can prolong it, and it's not them in the face, they're the ones behind it, so for all they care, they could just throw crazy filters on there. It looks good, like the song could be shitty, you know what I'm saying, and homie can look crazy, but it looks good, and they don't take a brunt of it, and so they can kind of step away at that point. But I feel like being an artist and being able to do both, it's been a huge, it's helped a lot with my growth, because now I just feel like I'm more responsible for who I am and how I work, because if I make a deadline, it's not David's fault, it's my fault, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's no one's fault, it's mine. So I feel like it's helped me organize all these other things in my life, because I feel like you allowed me to put my business in my hands by giving me the tools to be like, hey, like, this is as much as I can give you, but like, here are the tools to build a fucking cabinet, but you got to build a fucking cabinet, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what that got me, So yeah.
No, and I'm glad I feel like working with you was the perfect amount of like mentorship to like it was never, like, I feel like you never wanted to be babysat or anything.
For sure.
And that's one thing, like, I will say, like, you August put in the work. Like, yes, I was here, but he really did put in the work. So I can't sit here and be like, oh, I can't do everything for you. This is one of those, like, oh, honesty hours, but it's like, he really put in the work. But I feel like we really did everything we could together to make it happen. And so now, as far as like the actual photography stuff, how do you feel like, how do you feel like you learned? Like, where do you think you kind of started? And then where do you think you ended up as far as just the photography side of things?
No,
like,
I feel like I definitely learned, again, and I'm not trying to make this too deep, but I think, again, although you're behind a camera, I think what I learned is because I think what I was enjoying the most was taking photos of people. I was learning, like, again, collaboration. I'm like, damn, I don't want to make them look bad. You know, I want to make sure I take good photos. So the way my brain works, I'm very structured. I'm very like rational. So what I loved about the class was your syllabus. It's crazy because I feel like we didn't use it, but I used it myself to see like what the building blocks of like the camera, aperture, ISO. I feel like, because at the end of the day, I feel like it's all you really need, and then the rest of it's creativity. Yeah. So I feel like in terms of photography, I feel like I feel a lot more comfortable behind the camera. But I will say it's really up to you how often you put those reps in, because I did find myself more often than not only using it when I was coming to class. And towards the end, I had made this like, I essentially made my own syllabus that I told you about, where I created my own like 16-week challenge of like using different types of photography exercises so I could put those reps in. So I think for sure I got myself situated. I feel like I got myself ready at the end of the class to take the training wheels off, and now I'm ready to put the reps in. You know, does that make sense? Yeah. So I definitely think you set me up for success, but same thing with the music video. Now I feel like for me it's just like, all right, like let me see where you are now. So that's where I feel like I am now. I feel like I have all the equipment that I needed, all the foresight, all the places you've put us in. You know, we've done inside shows, we've done outside places, we've shot people, we've shot objects, and now I'm like, okay, now I know what I like. Yeah. Now I know where I feel comfortable, and now it's time for me to put in that work. So I don't know if that answered the question, but yeah.
No, that's excellent. So now that you've kind of gone through the first semester, do you have any new goals moving forward? Like, is there anything new that you would like to do, or do you feel like you hit your goals here and now you want to do different things? You just want to kind of continue to be more consistent with what you're doing?
I definitely want to continue. I want to continue. I think what I want to do next is a mix of creating a portfolio, but I definitely want to document, still on the music side of things, I want to document my music progress, but I also, again, following that, like those exercises, the photography exercises, I want to mesh them in so I can still learn the camera, because obviously I feel like I'm still like an infant when it comes to this stuff, but I also I'm reminding myself why I wanted to do this. You know, I wanted to craft my own narrative. I wanted to push that. So to me, I just feel like now I'm continuing everything I learned. It's just balancing. It's just balancing the music and the photography. You know, because I feel like I had to remind myself I'm not trying to be a photographer, but I'm trying to be a good enough photographer for myself. You know, for when I do like publish any photos or whatever, they look good. You know, they look good. You know, because I think one thing photography has helped me really be a lot more creative. Again, I feel like I'm diving into another aspect of another art, because I'm so in the world of music that I forget I can look at a painting or a picture for inspiration. You know, so being here behind the lens, taking photos, looking at the pictures, I'm like, damn, this is like inspiring me. You know, so I think for going forward, I just want to combine the two. Just photos of my music, photos of my growth, photos of my journey, but also grow in both. You know, obviously I want to be a better artist, but I also want to be better in the new art forms that I'm picking up. So definitely, to answer the question, just continue forward with what I'm learning and just put into practice. Like, I really want to put those reps in, because again, I feel like I wanted more to show out of what we've done here, and I feel like we've done a lot, but I do think I hit my creative goal, and I think that's all well and done. But I at the end of it, I'm like, damn, I feel like I didn't do enough photos, which is crazy because I joined the photo class, you know. But
we did two whole.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, again, you gave me the room to. I did my creative goal. I'm doing the music videos, but I'm like, I think that that structure inside of me is like, you didn't finish the class because
Yeah.
you didn't, like, I wanted to create portfolio. So I think I want to continue that. So by the end of the second semester, or even through it, because I still want to do the photos, I want to have a portfolio with, again, all those exercises: framing, leading lines, black and white. Like I have it mapped out. I think that's my next creative goal, is to create a portfolio.
Nice.
So yeah, that's yeah.
And I feel like that's one thing that I probably could have been better about. Like, honestly, I feel like I would tell you guys, oh, do this, and then I would never be like, oh, how's it going? How's this and that? You know what I mean?
No,
like,
yeah, but I think
I could have checked in a little bit better.
No, but I think I think that's what kind of made the class a lot more playful. Like, again, I'm using the word playground because it felt like we're adults at a playground. Like, like, hey, we're doing a concert today. Like, oh shit, like, you know, like, and we go fucking show up at a concert. Like, I wasn't here for that one day, but everybody showed up, and then you were like, we're going to a fucking metal concert. You know? And I remember the next week it came out, I was like, that's fucking crazy. Like, we just did a rap like event like a week ago, and then now we're at a metal concert. So I see what you're saying. Like, the spontaneity doesn't have structure to it, but I think there's a lot to take from the spontaneity, because I think, again, speaking for myself, I'm very structured, and being a little rigid can get boring. And I feel like someone like you, like having you lead it for me, like, fucking, I would go home and be like, I just did a fucking rap I didn't know we were doing that today. And then the following week, like a rock concert, like, I feel like you're helping put people like myself into uncomfortable positions that they need to be in, that they wouldn't have put themselves in, you know? Because I wouldn't have fucking done that. I would have been like, I'm gonna take a picture of my brother today, and, you know, and like not went anywhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, not throwing myself in that environment. And I feel like that's one thing I appreciated about the spontaneity of everything, was it was out of my control. And I think sometimes that's good. And I feel like that's what this class was, a juxtaposition of not being in your control. And if you're new to this, like it's not in my control yet of how well this photo comes out or where I'm taking the photo, but we did a lot. Like, we were in so many different venues and places that I think at the end I'm like, okay, I think I know how to function in this environment now. Like, again, the different venues and environments that we're in. So yeah, I see your critique of the spontaneity, but I think it worked. It worked. It worked.
Nice. Is there anything else you'd like to say about, like, the people that were there? Was everyone cool?
No, everybody was cool.
Were there any assignments? Were you there for the album one?
No, I missed that one. I missed the 2 times I missed was the album and the rock concert.
You missed good shit.
Yeah,
dang.
dude. Yeah. Because I remember seeing the photos in the group chat the next day, and I was like, "Fuck, these look cool." Like,
no, that one was fun.
Yeah, that one was really cool. That one looked really cool. No, but I definitely would say everybody was easy to get along with. I loved how, it's funny, I feel like I loved it felt like a rotation of personalities. You know, again, I feel like that spiced up the class, because, like, if it's just you, again, you're someone like me who tries to work independently. You're just used to yourself. You're not rubbing shoulders against anybody, and I feel like you kind of need that in this environment, because again, gotta look at this I feel like as a collaborative effort, because I felt like I was actually leaving class. Like, it felt like a small little niche community. Yeah. But I don't know, I feel like that's needed now more than ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, just that, even if it's just 4 people, because it was like 4 to 5 people most of the time. I feel like I actually left a small classroom that was intimate, and like we learned something.
Oh, I was sad, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it felt like, you know what I'm saying? I felt like I left like half of it, again, was work because we're learning and like whatever, but the other half, like, I just feel like I left a productive meeting with the homies. Like, you know, leave like, all right, later, y'all. You know, just like, damn, we actually, like, I don't know. It felt like a small niche community.
It was, man. And I didn't realize it was until like later, and I was like, man, like, we got a cool little,
that's how I felt. Like,
we got a cool little posse, a little group of homies, you know what I'm saying?
Especially everybody being consistent. I think that was really, what's the word? Like uplifting, because I feel like I'm like, damn, okay, other people are like trying to, like, again, it didn't feel like a grind, like it was hard work, but I knew everybody was, you know, we're spending those 2 hours over here, you know, sometimes 3, and I'm like, man, we're really like leaving when it's time to leave. We're really showing up when it's time to, you know, like, all right, David, what do we do? You know, like, I'm like, man, these people are really showing up. So I think that's another thing I appreciated about the classmates, is they were like, I feel like we're all just busting ass, you know, like, I don't know, so I appreciated that from them.
No, well, I really appreciate you just coming in and kind of talking about what we did and just kind of sharing just what we did, you know what I mean? I feel like I could be like, oh, we did this, we did that, but having you come in and you know, talk about what we did, I feel like that really means a lot that you come in and really like even encourage me more, so I thank you too, so I really appreciate it. That's all. This was really just to kind of show you guys what to look forward to in the second season of the Treehouse Photo School. Once again, this is August, one of the members from season 1, and I hope to see you guys there soon. Peace. If you got any questions, let us know. Peace.